But you're my friend. And you're a woman. And you're a working woman in America. And you're a mother. And you're a wife. And you have daughters and granddaughters. And you're a patriot. And you're smart and you're funny. But we eat food from the same plate and we both share Dr. Peppers because it's our favorite drink. And we talk about our insane kids and the dumb shit they do. We both love the casino, but I'm really cheap and I only do 30 cents a bet. But you do max bet and you always win. Remember that time we went shooting and I had 13 clays in a row with the 12 gauge? Remember how shocked you guys were? Because I was from New York City. You said, damn, girl, and called me Annie Oakley. Do you remember that? Do you remember how your husband refused to be outdone and shot 14? Psh, boys. Remember how he loves my super secret macaroni and cheese? Counted 4 cheeses. Remember those ribs you cooked? I had doubts about you, girl, but you threw down. Those ribs melted off the bone just like my mama used to make. Do you remember how your granddaughter and I became inseparable on that hot July day? Do you remember how we picked tomatoes from your garden? And cucumbers and fresh herbs? And I told you that you had to plant marigolds next to the tomatoes to keep the insects away. Do you remember that time we went fishing on the Pincus River? You loaned me your waders and I stood in the middle of that river with those waters that were threatening to sweep me off my feet every second. I was happier than I'd been in years. I felt at peace. Remember how I kept losing my worm, but you were right over there. You were ready. You'd rebait it and you'd swing it back to the shore. I didn't catch a single fish, but we ate sandwiches and chugged Strongbows out of the back of your truck. Remember how I didn't want to take those fucking waders off because they made me feel like a legit fisherman? I was legit, remember? Remember that time we got caught in that freak hailstorm in the middle of July? Do you remember how it was boys against girls when we went and played pool? Remember how bad I sucked, but I managed to sink the 8 ball and the boys got pissed off and they had to buy the next round? Remember how we gave each other the high five? I never wanted to speak to you again. I wanted to slap you and shake you and weep and scream in your face. I wanted to turn on my heels and leave you standing there alone. My throat hitched, my breathing stilled, and the world went silent. But I can't walk away because I remember you. But you voted for who? So who'll be in my tribe now? It's not like I can mosey on over to Ancestry.com and have them whip up a nice neat lineage with graphs and interconnecting bubbles of who my people are. Besides, I'm not giving them my credit card information to find out that I'm related to Thomas Jefferson. Who's got the passport? I've got mine, and if this shit goes south, I'm drinking Canadian beer. And I was a little pissed too because my Spanish is más o menos, but my French sucks. But here's the real deal. This is my land too. I suckled from my mother's breast here, on this land. My chubby brown feet first touched the ground here, on this land. I learned to speak here, on this land called America. I learned to horseback ride along the shores of the Long Island Sound atop a free-spirited Appaloosa named Snoopy, here on this land. My grandmother threw glamorous New York City parties, and I sat on Elvis's lap when I was 5 years old, in this land called America. I learned how to gather eggs from the chicken coop and muster my courage to use a North Carolina outhouse at 2 o'clock in the morning. And I learned how to hold it so as to avoid having to muster up the courage to use a North Carolina outhouse at 2 o'clock in the morning. I had my first kiss and made the cheerleading squad and learned to play Love Me Tender on an alto sax right here on this land called America. I held a one-of-a-kind Georgia O'Keeffe made of bone in my hand, and I slipped into Marilyn Monroe's dress right here in America. I marveled at the Golden Gate Bridge at sunrise and sipped a heavenly Chardonnay in this land called America. I first heard Bolero, marveled at Jimi Hendrix, wept to Nina Simone, rocked the fuck out to David Bowie, and learned how to love my hips listening to Jill Scott and Chaka Khan right here in America. I joined NJROTC and lost my virginity on a balmy Saturday in April to a boy with beautiful brown chocolate eyes and big hands. And then I lost it again to a blue-eyed soccer player from Boston, right here in America. I fell in love and out of love and in love and out of love, right here in America. I lost a child in this land called America. I stood atop a frozen waterfall, and as I watched the water brush under my feet, I felt God here in this land, America. I kissed my grandmother goodbye for the last time in this land called America. First time someone said, I loved you, it was right here, in this land. The first time someone called me nigger was right here, in this land called America. Ancestry.com, they can't affirm who I'm gonna be. We have a history, this land and me. Her story, my story, in this land called America. I'm an American, and I shall not leave it, and I shall not forsake it, and I shall not entrust it to the hands of those who would break it. So don't get it twisted. America's my tribe, and I'm here to stay, and I cannot, and I will not be frightened away.